Hey, welcome everybody to the third episode of my perspective of the Chillcraft Chillager Challenge. Chillager Challenge, not whatever the hell I said. With me we've got Dr. Jones again.
Hello.
And Socks is back. I can't tell if he's popping bottles in the crib or if he's just like hitting it with a mallet.
I think he's just having some Pago fruit drink or something like that.
There we go.
Were you actually taking my suggestion and using the microphone as the bottle opener?
I was doing what my favorite beer drinker, Steel Worldwide, does, and taps the bottom of the bottle before he drinks it.
Why?
I didn't think like beer drinker is a profession.
Yeah.
You obviously haven't seen his 40-ounce videos.
No, I haven't.
I'm near Germany, so I would know that, I think.
I don't know. There are a lot of countries known for their drinking. Well, now that we have established that you're drinking, let's go over our plans for this episode. We're still in Tier 3. We're going to get to Tier 4.
We're in Tier 3?
Yeah, we're in Tier 3. Yeah. In fact, we're ready for Tier 4. We just, after the barn is done, we're in Tier 4.
Yeah, but it's a long time when the barn is done.
Yeah, and it needs to be able to hold more animals than that pen with 2 sheep.
Yeah.
They look a little cozy.
Some dirt yet?
Sorry, what?
No, I'm asking Zox.
Oh.
What's up?
Have you digged some dirt yet?
A little bit.
I need some dirt from the bar for like the...
I've got some.
I got a bunch. Hi.
Hi. I'm Dr. Jones.
I'm Socks Mahoney.
I was there too.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. I seriously don't know exactly how you want me to dig this, but okay. You're like, you gotta dig in this place.
Yeah, okay, look at that.
You want to use this as a path?
Yeah, look.
Okay. Alright.
From here, let's take this dirt pillar.
Okay.
Until let's say here. Or here.
So you want me to dig all of that
Yeah, this
out?
area between those two. You should like dig away to even it out down there.
I kind of don't want to because I like the way that looks too much.
Well, we need a pathway to...
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Just follow my rules. Just obey me.
Yeah. I have some extra dirt, by the way, like 24 if anyone needs it.
Oh, I'm gonna have plenty, don't you worry.
Alright. I'll stop worrying. So, I was thinking before the episode, exactly what pointless bullshit we can talk about when we're doing the busy work parts of the, building. And I was thinking, since the last episode, that Socks was not there for, he was unfortunately busy, since the last episode was very much talking about video games that myself and Dr. Jones enjoy, and Let's Plays that he plans to do, and Civilization, and Austria, I thought that we could talk more about the common interest between myself and Socks, which would be professional wrestling.
I do.
Yes.
I'm out here.
Talk about wrestling? I mean, I would like to talk about video games. I love video games.
Look at you! You just immediately completely switched the topic.
Well, you know what? I can talk like crazy about wrestling, but...
Me too.
Well,
and that's why I want to, is because I don't know anyone else who can.
Okay.
We can talk about both. What wrestling
games
games do you like?
What wrestling games do I like?
Oh man, I played wrestling games.
There you go. This is common between all of us. Which ones do we like?
Anyone who, how do I explain this? I have, like, I'm kind of not really big on Twitter, but I have a Twitter presence, so to speak. And what my Twitter followers don't know is that I have an alternate thank you. I have an alternate, wrestling live tweeting account called Ultimate Markout.
I don't know if I've seen that Twitter, but I've seen the YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I think I linked it to you.
Okay, yeah. Well, you linked the YouTube, yeah. I didn't just stumble across it. You showed me.
Right. That's also pretty big. a little aside here, they've kind of been fighting for followers lately because they've been, like, this is the first time they've ever been so close. Like, my main account has plenty of times surpassed it or otherwise, but this time, for like the last month or so, they've been totally equal. So it's been like a little mini feud between myself and myself of who can get more followers, which is kind of funny.
So
but
that stuff sounds cool. I want to get into that stuff.
Live tweeting, don't. Don't. It's so. I don't know how to accurately describe it. It's just like, it's something you just want to do with friends, but there's this community behind it, and the community is like...
Douches?
They're not funny. Really not.
Well, I think I can know where you're coming from, mostly because I've seen the majority of fan-made pictures on, like, the wrestling memes YouTube thing, and the vast majority of people just don't fucking get it, and aren't funny.
The big problem is you're looking at a YouTube called Wrestling Memes, for one.
A Facebook.
Yeah.
It's the most popular. I don't remember what it's exactly called. I'm blanking on the name.
It's called Wrestling Memes. I know.
It's the most popular wrestling memes one right now, and it's got like the Vince face right now with the Technicolor background. It's really hit and miss.
There's some good shit. There's some good shit out there in the Twitter.
There
sphere.
is. Yes.
But it's mostly just for a big while it was this person says.
Yeah.
And that was so bad.
Or there's ones that have one funny tweet and then no other one is funny, like status of Ray's knee Twitter account.
That sounds like my Twitter, wow.
The idea that it exists is kind of funny. It was only funny for 2 tweets. And then it got really lame.
Alright, can you give me all the dirt?
Why are you digging out more of it? Okay, here.
Yeah, because I'm gonna make this dirt.
And here's more dirt. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that all you needed?
Stone patches here. Yeah, you could like dig in one level in here, and I'm replacing the stone with dirt.
How far up? Just this.
Well, all the stone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like work.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, Twitter game is on point. Is it nighttime? Oh,
it is.
It's nighttime enough to sleep, I believe.
I think.
I was wondering because I'm hearing a lot of enemies, and I think we're like digging into a mine.
Yeah, I'm in my bed now, and Roland said he's up for sleeping.
Okay, let's go have a nappies.
Oh, but what I was asking before though, what is everyone's favorite wrestling game?
Wrestling game? I was on a tangent about that.
Yeah.
Aside from the Twitter stuff, I also do this other thing where, influenced by the Twitter stuff, I represent me and a bunch of friends, and we have this little eFed. And I've been trying to actually work matches in WWE 13, which is a game I completely hate.
I still want it.
It's if you haven't played a wrestling game in a long time and you want to see what's up to date, that's fine. You'd probably actually get a kick out of it and enjoy a bunch of stuff in it. But when you've been following wrestling games and playing them pretty consistently like I have, it's the same old shit.
Well, I play wrestling games almost literally every day. In fact, I stream my own mini eFed-like thing quite often if Fire Pro Wrestling returns, which is my favorite one.
You just do have fantasy things, right?
Sorry, what?
You just do fantasy things, right? Or is it people who follow you?
Oh, it's myself and a lot of my friends and people I work with and stuff, and then I also made a bunch of people in the chat who regularly watch. They'll send in requests to have them made. They'll attach some pictures, say, a style they want to go for or something, and I'll make them. And I edit their AI and everything, have them be unique from everyone else, and I have them go computer versus computer, and sometimes it turns out some really fun matches just as a casual thing on the stream. I feel like I was going somewhere with something.
But what I've been trying to do is... no, go ahead.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, my favorite wrestling game was like, I mean, I played Smackdown versus Raw, the first few games of that series when I was like, yeah, a few years younger.
And you know what? Those weren't bad. SmackDown vs. Raw
Yeah,
2006. I played
not at
that
all.
forever.
6 had a great roster.
It did.
Stevie Richards.
My favorite one.
Sylvain Grenier, yeah!
That's true.
The fuck?
Yeah, but
they got his finisher
but
wrong
my
too.
favorite ones were, well, my favorite one was the Smackdown one. I think it was just called Smackdown.
Smackdown Shut Your Mouth was awesome.
Smackdowns. Yeah, Here Comes the Pain was really good.
Yeah, both of those were really, really fun.
I liked that you can like interact with things more. Like in the garage, you could like drive a caterpillar and.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There's so much fun
like
shit
that.
you could do in those.
Yeah.
But as I was saying before, like derailing this conversation again.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who do that kind of e-fed thing and try to just make interesting videos out of it, and it often seems like some people never really get the formula right. What I've been doing is I've been because there's really popular ones. There's I forget what it is. It's like I forget the name of it. But it's really popular right now, and the guy who does it does like all of these fantasy matches between just like Donald Duck versus Ronald McDonald.
I've seen him his Twitter account. It's or his Twitch account rather. It's Braza. It's like Braza or something like that. But yeah, I've seen him.
He's the video game wrestling network.
Yeah, he got really popular fast.
He did. And that's really cool, and I'm glad he's able to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like...
I don't get why that got so popular and nothing else did, though.
Because it had mass appeal.
I guess, yeah, the whole
people
video game stuff.
Don't normally want to watch, hey, this guy's wrestling thing versus this guy's wrestling thing. What made his so good was that it was... or what made his popular was that it was just entirely mass appeal. Like, what's the funniest thing we can think of? Like, oh, how about like I don't know, just take two big popular icons and put them in the ring together.
It also really exploded early because someone made really good creative wrestlers of John and Aaron of Game Grumps, and he very quickly almost immediately he downloaded them and put them in matches together and started uploading them, and it exploded all over their Reddit. So all of a sudden, like everyone who watches Game Grumps and follows their Reddit all of a sudden saw these matches, and that really jump-started it.
Right. And I've seen a lot of people do similar stuff. Like, there's one that really actually bothered me because it was really poorly produced, but it was getting a lot of...
Some of them are awful.
Well, listen, it was poorly produced, but it was getting like a lot of hits, and tons of people were like, hey, man, this is really funny.
Yeah.
Because they'd never seen stuff like that before. But it was Jeff Gerstmann of Giant Bomb versus Kanji from Persona 4.
Oh man.
I don't know either of them.
Oh, Kanji's like my favorite character in the whole Persona series.
No,
Junpei is my favorite, but Kanji.
I haven't played 3.
There.
I've been meaning to.
Yeah,
we were actually talking about Persona on the last episode.
I've only really played 4. I know that kind of makes me a horrible person, but I love 4.
But I love Kanji's personality.
Kanji's great.
Yeah, Kanji's like this, if you don't know, try. It's like this guy who is like, I don't know if he's really homosexual, but...
He plays off the super manly trope. But there's like a whole big gay thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet stuttered for a second. He plays off what?
I see.
He plays off really manly tropes.
Ah.
Yeah.
But it's like his whole big inner conflict is him dealing with his gay thoughts.
Ah.
Which I thought was really interesting, actually.
That actually sounds really funny. I like that.
Yeah, I love his social link where he's
he does have a good social link. They have a lot of really good jokes to it, but they also handle it really well in the sense that there are a few skeevy things of it that are like, oh man, you're gay, that's gross. which which kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they handle the way he deals with his inner conflicts really well, and I don't really want to spoil it, but they kind of leave the idea of whether or not he's actually gay ambiguous.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Which personally I really like.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the scene, for instance, where like they're on the school trip and camping, and like Kanji comes to the boys because he ran away from some girls, and Yosuke like says something like, "Are you really sure you want to sleep here with me? Like open to you and stuff." Like he's gonna rape him or something like that.
Well, now that we have that firmly established, wrestling.
I'm sorry.
As I was saying about like there are people who do. There are people who like try to play off the same thing that Video Game Wrestling Network or whatever it's called did, where it's like they just kind of like try to put two funny things together, and they never necessarily play the matches. They just kind of like they just automate them. They just say, hey. It's AI only, fighting other AI. Isn't that way it's a totally fair fight. And that bugs me. It bugs me because growing up as a fan of professional wrestling, I knew it wasn't real. Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy to
same
tell
here, it's pretty obvious.
Pro wrestling is a work sport.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you can call it a sport. But it's like, when people try to take the idea of a wrestling game and presenting it in a Let's Play format and saying, let's like make it all AI, so it's totally fair and we don't know who's gonna win. That's silly. You should have people playing it against each other, which is my philosophy. That's what I've been trying to do with it. Mm-hmm. I have me and a couple friends make cause of all the people we want to include in our games, or download them, and then we actually like work matches with each other. Like we literally call spots to each other and say,
"Hey, I like that.
Let's do the Irish whip rebound and do a wheelbarrow German." Yeah. And that'll we know that'll get a pop. So it's like, so we're just trying to like actually. Oh, I almost got stuck in here with the sheep while I was walking around talking about wrestling. But we I want to see more people do that. I want to see more people like actually try to put on really good matches instead of just like automating it just for page views.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. In fact, I've wanted to do something like that for a long time, but I always have had the limitation of basically having no one to be able to do that with locally. Right. And so, the streams are a fun thing that I do sometimes just kind of casually. And I have wanted to actually work matches like that before, I've just never really had an opportunity. But that's actually why I enjoyed even the match you sent me, where you said you didn't like the match very much, but that's an example of the kind of thing. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the match, because there were clearly two characters, and there was an idea going into this match like an actual wrestling match. Mm-hmm. This was something more than just the roll of the dice. Mm-hmm. And that's why I enjoyed it.
Actually, the one I sent you, which was Brad Ward versus Ultimate Markout 1, was totally not worked. That was me and him, we had a full live stream event and a big Twitter feud where we absolutely hated each other and we're gonna settle it in the ring. And we did that totally live. Like, when we're playing
I think you did a really good job then. Well, I could tell definitely with the commentary.
You could tell me, you can literally hear me, clacking the buttons, and when something happens, I'm like, fuck.
Also, you were basically calling spots with the commentary every once in a while, where you're saying things like, he's setting up for this thing, don't fucking dodge it! It was pretty obvious in some parts, but I still thought it was really good. Also, I'm happy Brad Ward lost, because he's just fucking Cena.
Huh?
I'm happy Brad Ward lost because he's just Cena. He is not a character, he's just Cena.
It's true. No, that was the gimmick going
I assumed so, yes.
He's a huge Cena fan, so he wanted to get a pop out of people and get a big joke going. Yeah. How he was literally John Cena. And I think that went over well.
Yeah. I liked seeing him get beaten up, even though I'm fairly sure he was the face.
He was definitely the face.
Yeah. Well, considering his opponent walks into the shirt that says, "Fuck Brad Ward," and that solidly got me in your corner.
We did a bunch of really cool things though.
Yeah.
Like
I want to see more.
Oh yeah, I'm currently working on a full card of matches, not just like one live stream is one match.
Yeah.
I want to do live commentary, although I probably won't be able to pull that off. But it's like I'm working on the video right now. I have 2 out of the 3 matches I'm doing recorded, and I have like entrances done, and all I'm trying to do is like get this last match done, and then we can air it as soon as possible. And I plan on getting that done by the end of May. But we have 3 matches. One of them is, if you watch the other big match on our channel, which I kind of didn't like after rewatching it.
I don't think I've seen the other one.
That was my friend Nightlife versus my friend Louie, who actually got pretty famous lately. Louie
is the one who's with DDP Yoga, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that because I actually keep up with that, and I love Louie. I think the guys are way too hard on Louie.
I have
the fuck is with that?
I have a big heart-wrenching story about that. I love the guy. Sometimes I treat him like shit when I talk to him, which I kind of feel bad about.
So is Louie someone you know, like, personally?
I met him online through Twitter, actually.
That's really cool. Is this before or after DDP Yoga?
Before.
Okay. Because I saw him in I saw him in that video you sent me where he was your manager, and I'm like, wait, what? And I thought at first, like, maybe this was some kind of joke thing. I didn't know that you knew Louie, and I was like, that's really cool, actually, because I like Louie.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah. He seems like a genuinely really nice guy, and I think he puts up with just from what, like, I watch him talk to other people, I think he puts up with a lot of shit.
He does, honestly, and I feel really bad
for him. It bugs me, because, like, I can tell, like, for instance, looking at, like, Scott Hall and stuff, talking to him, I can tell Scott, like, doesn't dislike him or anything. I think he doesn't I don't think he realizes that he's being kind of a dick to him.
Actually, about that, Scott Hall loves him, personally.
Good.
Scott Hall is, like, his biggest fan. And they were best friends when they were in the house.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that, because it comes across when you see him talk to him, like he's being kind of an asshole to him sometimes. I'm happy to hear that they're actually friends.
He has to be an asshole to people.
He's the bad guy.
He is the bad guy. Yeah. About that, though, Louie recently left the house.
He did?
Yes, and it was...
I missed that.
It was actually because of Jake the Snake.
I kind of saw that coming if he was going to leave, because Jake was also kind of...
Jake was a huge dick to him.
Yeah.
And I personally dislike Jake the Snake as a person because of that.
As a wrestler, he's awesome. As a person, I've always been with him, because he's had so many times where it's like he says something, he seems really hopeful, like he's getting better, right. And then like a fucking week later, something awful happens, and it's his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he, Jake the Snake, like, personally caused him to, like, get so stressed out that he had to leave.
I think I could see that, because I know Louie talked in videos before about, you know, just all the shit he had to put up with Jake, and like how it's stressing him out, but he just kind of puts up with it.
Yeah. And it's really sad. But actually, in regards to that, I talked to Louie about it, and he wants to do it. In one of our upcoming shows, we're gonna do Louie versus Jake the Snake.
Isn't Jake in one of those games? Like, as an actual, like, not a creator wrestler?
The last time I remember him in it, he was in 2006.
Okay, because
I may be wrong.
He was also in the last... I have all the Smackdown games, and I don't have any of the WWE ones since, just because I want to wait until I get, like, a PS3 or something to get it. So the last one I have is Smackdown vs. Raw 2011, I think it was, and he was in that one.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I have 11.
Although the selling of the DDT in that game is fucking weird.
I don't remember him in that one.
He's in it, yeah. He's one of the ones that you win through the story mode, through the Road to WrestleMania, rather. You get him... What? Yeah, you earn him through... he's one of the secret characters you get in the Road to WrestleMania where you fight Undertaker.
What?
Yeah, he's in it. Green tights and everything. He's got his face theme song, I believe.
Whoa.
And he's even got like he's got the same animation as the 2006 like PSP port thing where he's got the snake over his shoulder. It's the same animation as the old one.
You know what?
His DDT is not sold correctly at all. He like spikes them on the top of their head and they like flip, which like almost no one fucking did from the DDT back then. But yeah, it was all right. It was all right considering it's not like he has any lines in the game, you know? It's not like he was a feature character of the story.
You know what? I'm gonna like boot that up right now and see if you're right, because I don't remember that at all.
Just Google it.
No, I have it right here.
There you go. Boot it up. This is a professional video we're doing.
Give
You
me 10
boot that
seconds.
up,
I'm
sir,
gonna find this.
and show the world that I am correct and that Jake the Snake Roberts is in Smackdown vs. Raw 2011. So hey, Jones, what's up?
Oh, hey. No, I'm just doing this pathway.
I've just been collecting wood.
light wood.
So, what's your favorite wrestling game? I know you said before that you played at least some.
Yeah, Smackdown.
Smackdown. Was it PS1 or PS2 the one you played?
It was PS2.
Okay, it was probably either Here Comes the Pain or Shut Your Mouth, and those two were awesome.
Here Comes the Pain, I'm pretty certain.
I think that's... which one do I have? I forget. Was Brock Lesnar in your game? He might have been on the cover of the game, too.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that Brock Lesnar was only in one of the two, and it's the one that I have that has Brock Lesnar, which... Is it Shut Your Mouth? You know what? I got the game right over here. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna boot it up, and... No, I'll just open the case and look at the cover.
Yeah.
It's, Shut Your Mouth is the one I've got, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm booting
but
up.
Here Comes the Pain, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Alright, we're gonna have... This is live!
I remembered a wrestler who, like, got forgotten, like, ages ago.
Who?
Do you guys remember the Hurricane?
Yes! Gregory Helms is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What was his theme like?
Stand back. There's a
hurricane coming through. Da, 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 da. It's like the superhero theme. And that was back when his thing was he would try to chokeslam people with his super strength, but it almost never worked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when he was in the cruiserweight division, it worked because he had super strength. But when he wasn't in the cruiserweight division, no, it didn't ever work. And then they made him Gregory Helms, and it was just kind of bland and boring, and he had the worst Titantron ever devised by man.
They remade him?
Where the sunglasses.
The sunglasses zoom to his face. Gregory Helms, and then it loops at 2 seconds for the entire duration. That is infamous. That is like David Flair levels of shitty Titantron.
Oh man, I can imagine.
Play 1-on-1 normal match.
Oh, Jake the Snake.
Where? There he is!
Yeah, told ya! Play the match. Do his DDT. The selling of it's really weird. It looks great, but it doesn't look like Jake's DDT.
Sick. Oh my god, I forgot all about this roster.
Yeah, it was an okay roster. I like that one.
Oh my god. David Hart Smith. Yeah. There you go. That's a star.
I like DH Smith. He's good.
Smith. There's the Druid.
Oh, I forgot he was in the game. They always have like a fake guy in the game. The Druid. What one was it? Was it 2009 where you could unlock red and blue training dummies?
I believe that was 10.
That was 10? Okay. That was great too.
Evan Bourne? You can be Finley?
Finley's in a black singlet in that game. At least in the Wii version. He doesn't have any green. It's weird.
Oh, he has some stuff on here.
Okay, the Wii version looks weird. So I have the Wii version of it, and he's in pure black.
They have a really good John Morrison.
Ooh. I'm good, don't worry. The explosion didn't kill me, the fall did. I can get my stuff. Yeah, John Morrison was in that one, too. I'm not big on Face Morrison, I've got to say. My favorite of him, gimmick-wise, was Johnny Nitro, but I also very much like heel Morrison. Face Morrison is just, I always had a hard time getting behind.
Oh my god. Mike Knox is in this game?
I love Mike Knox so much. This is one of the only two that Mike Knox is in. It bugs me.
These models actually look really good.
Yeah, it was a good game. I like that one.
Man, JTG is in this game?
It was pretty dumbed down, but I liked it. Weirdly
Shelton
enough...
Benjamin is in this game.
Oh, did you hear the news?
Are you serious? Terry Funk was in this game?
Yes, he was. Hey, it had a good roster. You know, Jimmy Snuka is in that one too. And Jimmy Snuka can't wrestle worth a shit anymore, but...
Vance Archer is in this game.
Oh, I forgot! Oh my god, I forgot he was in it. I forgot he even made it to a game. And yet Kurt Hawkins still wasn't in the game.
For some reason, Zack Ryder is my WWE champion.
I like Ryder. I like heel Ryder more, though.
I liked Ryder at one. Chris Masters is DLC.
The Wii version didn't have DLC, so I like Masters. I don't care what anyone says. I like Masters.
I like Masters.
Yeah.
John Cena DLC.
What?
Is John Cena DLC, and it was just a different color of his
I was gonna say, is it like a jersey? What? Is it the jersey of the month?
What? That is such shitty DLC.
What?
They had
new costume?
They had the Nexus DLC where there was Justin Gabriel, David Otunga, and Wade
I'm
Barrett.
sorry, you have to pay money for David Otunga?
You know what? I don't hate David Otunga.
I think he has the worst pin covers I've ever seen as a wrestler. And it's a weird thing to say, like, you're shitty at this. Pin cover. Every time I've ever seen the man do a pin cover, it's like the most awkward, shitty looking thing. He, like, hooks their leg badly, and like the small of their back's coming off the ground a little bit, but not totally, and there's no weight on the shoulders, and like, the fuck are you doing?
It takes forever to look up Caw. I had a Kevin Nash Caw. What is wrong with me?
Was it any good?
It was okay. I have a Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana rules.
What was I saying before? Something about the wrestlers in that game. Jake? I don't know. Something about it.
Oh man, I have a lot of really good wrestlers. I have Kurt Hawkins. I have the Kings of Wrestling.
God, Kurt Hawkins, why did he not make it into that game, but Vance Archer did?
I have a Charlie Haas for some reason.
I like Charlie Haas. Shut the fuck up.
Have you seen his Haas hole stuff, like in the late of his ROH career before he retired?
I saw almost none of him in Ring of Honor.
He was so pathetic in Ring of Honor.
Didn't he? He looked. I remember seeing him in Ring of Honor and remarking that he looks like a mugger.
I have a Scotty 2 Hottie.
But you've got to have Scotty 2 Hottie in every game he's in. He's my test dummy when I want to try out a character.
I can't believe I have a Matt Morgan. What's wrong with me?
I've never been big on Morgan.
He's not a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's in fact a very bad wrestler.
Yeah.
Talking about wrestlers, what happened to Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle is still fucking wrestling, and he should not be. He's still.
Oh my god.
He's on TNA.
Yeah, he's really talented, but oh my god, how is he not paralyzed?
Hey, he's still going. I believe in that man.
I do too. He's still crazy talented, but oh my god, I fear for his health in the ring.
I don't accept when he does giant leaps off things.
It terrifies me when I see him getting ready for, like, his moonsault he does in every cage match. I'm just like, oh god, this could be the one that kills him. It's like when I see Ric Flair wrestle, where I'm like, Flair, I love you, Flair. I love you so much. Can you please just be a manager? Even when you talk, I'm afraid you're gonna, like, blow your jugular.
He is gonna blade, like, regardless.
He doesn't need to blade anymore. I bet if you just ran your finger along his forehead with any pressure, the skin would just peel off. Like, it's scar tissue.
Oh.
It's pure scar tissue.
Poor Nature Boy.
He's so good. I love Ric Flair so much, but can he please just be a manager and stop wrestling? I'm afraid he's going to die in the ring. I don't want to see him get hurt.
He hasn't wrestled in a long time, so...
I didn't he have a match with, like, Jay Lethal? Like a couple years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. How old is Rick now? 65?
He's in his 60s, yeah.
I think he's about 65. Jesus. He's been wrestling since he was like 20.
I have the Motor City Machine Guns, and they're actually really good.
I like the Motor City Machine Guns.
I have a Consequences Creed for some reason.
So what do you think about the stair design?
I like it.
Alright. So I'm keeping with that theme.
Wasn't
I want to make it
Creed in isn't Consequences Creed in NXT now?
Oh.
Under a different name, of course. He's like Xavier or something.
Oh yeah, Xavier Woods.
Yeah, is he any good? I have never really given that guy a chance.
I didn't really care for him in TNA, but I've seen a few of his stuff. I've seen some of his stuff as Xavier Woods, where they actually, like, you know, let him be fun. Yeah. And he's like, he's pretty good.
Okay. What the fuck ever happened to Jimmy Rave?
Good question.
He was a jobber in TNA for like 5 years. And everything I've ever seen of him outside of TNA was like, he's really talented. I've heard he's a dick backstage, but...
Probably.
What's with all these wrestlers that, like, why is it the really talented wrestlers who put on really good matches are complete dicks, and then the ones who...
know they can put on good matches.
And then the ones who really, really suck in the ring are, like, great people and you hate to hate them, like... Fucking Great Khali seems like a really cool guy. He cannot fucking wrestle.
I've heard a lot of really good stories about Great Khali. Yeah. Too bad he's fucking garbage.
He is immobile. I don't blame him. He's like, what is he, 7'3"?
He's really big, yeah.
And then John Cena. I've heard a lot of great things about him. I know he does all this charity work.
You before you say anything about John Cena, you can shit on him as a wrestler all you want. He can still... I honestly do not hate him as a wrestler. Like, there are times when he's booked when he's like, you know, he just goes over for no reason, and they always have to keep him looking strong. And that really bugs me.
Me
too. But as a wrestler, I think he's fully capable. Like, a lot of internet people especially give him a lot of shit because he always like only does 4 moves.
It's not...
That's silly.
The 4 move thing doesn't bug me a ton, because I know a lot of wrestlers from back in the day that I love, that they didn't have many moves that they did, and they didn't have many they do well, but they're still good at working a match.
Yeah.
You don't need a really diverse moveset, although it often helps. My problem with Cena is the Super Cena selling. I don't like how... A dude could work over his ankle for 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden he's leaping through the air doing shoulder tackles.
Yeah,
shit like that bugs
silly.
me. I don't like him being in the title picture for as insanely long as he has, but I can see why he is. Well, and on the microphone, I don't even dislike him like some people do, but I think
him on the microphone
so
much.
I don't always hate him on the microphone. I like that he seems like he cares, which is something a lot of wrestlers don't have anymore. But I think it's more so... I can tolerate on the mic because the people he's often talking with are not nearly as good, because there aren't so many good talkers in WWE anymore.
I kind of disagree with that a little bit, but
they're better in the company.
You're definitely right that the people they put out are not good. Like Ryback is fucking atrocious on the mic.
That man needs a manager because he cannot speak. He's got a great look. I think he does for squash matches. They're pretty fucking entertaining. I don't know what I would do with him. I like him and I want to like him, but never give him a microphone unless he's just gonna waffle someone with it. Give him Heyman. Heyman can talk. Heyman can make you a heel.
Heyman's got CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. So.
Oh yeah. Why does CM Punk have Heyman? Just because they're friends? CM Punk doesn't need Heyman. CM Punk can talk for himself.
Who cares? Like, when he was teaming with Heyman, that had to be, like, the best time in Heyman's life. It's like, Heyman doesn't have to do anything.
They were clearly having fun with that. Yeah, I liked it because they were clearly having fun.
I like that a lot.
I love when I watch wrestlers having fun with what they're doing. That makes me happy.
Yeah. But, it was funny because Heyman would always talk about it and be like, it's so great. I really don't have to do anything. I can just stand around and do silly shit.
Well,
the stuff they did, like especially during entrances, was like brilliant.
I loved it.
Did they
still do that?
No, CM Punk has been gone for a little while.
Is he injured?
No, he's taking a break.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean, he deserves it. Jesus,
he's probably like taking the time off for nagging injuries, but. Yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Oh yeah, it's like Morrison too, where Morrison said he's taking a little break from wrestling, but he definitely wants to come back. Oh, fucking go for it. He deserves it. He's been working his ass off for so long.
Totally, he's still wrestling.
Oh, he's still wrestling now? Because I remember he said when he first left that he was thinking of taking a break from wrestling and coming back to WWE later because he left on really good terms.
Yeah, like I can imagine they would definitely like him back, even though they did jack shit with him.
They did not do the parkour.
They treated him so bad.
Man, yeah. You remember at the last WrestleMania I actually watched was the one where they have Dolph Ziggler versus... They have a match of Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison. I'm like, yes, I'm so looking forward to this. I love these guys. And then they never even get tagged in. Instead, we have, like, fucking, what was it, like, Snooki versus who?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Melina,
Snooki
maybe?
was definitely the best wrestler in that match.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Snooki was definitely the best wrestler in that match.
Well, I've got to say, it was an impressive handspring elbow, but what the fuck was the finish?
She did a move. That's more than I expected, Snooki. You know what? I can talk about a whole bunch of ways in which I actually respect Snooki.
I don't know anything about Snooki, other than that she is not allowed to get between my John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler match.
They had.
I will not allow it.
They had a ton of matches, so I'm not that mad about it, because, you know, if you want to look up John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler, you'll find a bunch.
Yeah, and they were good matches.
They were good. They're good wrestlers.
Why is Ziggler injured? Why can't someone else be injured? Can we
really
transfer injuries?
It's just a concussion. He'll be back in like a week.
Yeah.
Concussions aren't... Well, they're a big deal if you don't treat them.
They're a big deal over time and stuff, but... Ziggler hasn't had many injuries, has he? At least in WWE. I don't remember him being injured very often.
That's because he's fucking made of rubber.
He is... See, the thing is, and a lot of people say this, is, the worst thing about Ziggler, in terms of, like, getting a push, is that he sells so well that you have to make him lose a lot, because, like... I see this... I can understand that, but I see it a lot more with Evan Bourne, where if you look up any WWE finisher... The first clip you see is it being done to Evan Bourne because he always sells it the best. Like, you look up any finisher and it's Evan Bourne dying.
Seidel's really talented. I still call him Seidel, I don't know why.
I didn't watch him very much when he was Seidel, so I got in the habit of calling him Bourne. With Claudio Castagnoli, I can barely ever remember what they call him in WWE because I've been following him since the days he had a ponytail. And let me tell you, he does not look good with hair. Jesus, he looks way better now. Always really talented, though. And I think Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you watch much of, Antonio Cesaro? Did you watch much of Cesaro, when he was, like, back in Chikara?
I don't really watch Chikara.
It's a sin not to watch Chikara. He was the co-leader of the BDK, that was it. It was like the really serious heel stable that they had for a long time in Chikara when they did one of the more serious gimmicks. It lasted a long time, really awesome. It's funny how, oh my god, Cesaro was so good by that point, because when he first started in Chikara and he had the ice cream cone gimmick guy, and then later he had like his ponytail and he was head trainer there, he was it was weird, where he was a bit of a powerhouse spot monkey. But he got so good so fast, where now he can, like, pace match so well, and the little things he does makes me think of Arn Anderson, and that he just gets how to be a heel, and it's the little things that matter. Like, he doesn't pick a guy up just by grabbing their head or their hair, he picks him up by, like, pulling their ear. And he'll do things that Arn did, like kick a dude in the knee, instead of kicking them in the gut. Just because it's heelish. Kicking a guy in the knee, you never see that. You you see like Bourne do like the side kicks to the calf and stuff. He'll just like toe kick a guy in the knee, and he's this big guy. He doesn't need to do that, but he does it, and it's like I like that. He's just the little things that really put him over and make you like, he's a heel, and I fucking love him though because he's such a good wrestler. Did you see him hit his finisher on Brodus Clay?
Yeah,
holy fuck! I can't believe he got him up for that.
That finisher they gave him fucking sucks, but he makes it work.
It's funny how it's like, I've never seen that finisher before him, and I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't even know what's supposed to hurt from that, but I don't dislike it. And the reason is because it's so crazy, and for some reason it fits him.
The thing about it is, it's nuts to me how they have a person who can do like a move as nuts as the European uppercut or Swiss death.
Fuck me, it is brutal looking.
It is so sick, and they somehow like And, like, they let him do that as a transitional move into just a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't get why that's...
neutralizer.
Why did they downgrade that move to a setup?
Especially because this is WWE, and WWE will take, like, a person's most remedial move and call it their finisher.
Spinning neckbreaker.
Yeah.
See, people bitched about that, like, especially when NXT was a new thing, how a lot of them had, like, really, like, basic moves as finishers. Where, like, McGillicuddy did that swinging neckbreaker thing as a finisher. I thought he actually made that look pretty good. I don't like McGillicuddy, but I think he made it look good.
I actually don't mind Mike McGillicuddy. And
I don't dislike him, but I think he's wasted.
They don't have anything for him. Like, they don't have anything for a lot of guys.
His gimmick is his hat's on backwards.
They would be fucking gold if they just, like, they'd let him be Mr. Perfect too. But
I know. Have you ever seen him do the Fisherman Suplex? It's beautiful.
Yeah,
he does it as well as his father, and his father is was fucking amazing. And I also want to point out, I don't know how many Mr. Perfect matches you've seen, but is it not fucking uncanny how alike in so many ways he and Dolph Ziggler are?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They don't want to do a Mr. Perfect 2 with him because they have Dolph Ziggler.
I can definitely see that, because there are so many wrestlers nowadays that I can look at and say, this is an older, like, 80s wrestler, but with a new twist on it, and it so works. And it's usually, like, wrestlers that worked in the first place. Like, they have Bray Wyatt, who is pretty much the new Waylon Payne. Or Waylon Mercy, rather. And Waylon Mercy is probably the one who worked least out of the ones I'm going to name, but it was a cool idea, and Bray does it better. Which is like, you know, Southern preacher kind of Southern prophet kind of thing, who, like, preaches really obscure stuff, where with Waylon Mercy he was, like, all about peace and stuff, even though he was really brutal. With Bray Wyatt, he does it better. There is Damien Sandow, which is Sandow or Sandal?
Sandow.
Okay. I like him a lot, and he's probably the farthest removed from the original idea of the gimmick. And what I think they got it from is the genius Lanny Poffo, Randy Savage's brother,
right,
who is one of my favorite managers of all time. My god, his promos were amazing. But this is like a new version of him. Of course, match-wise, it's very different. Where if you've ever seen Lanny Poffo wrestle as the Genius, they're comedy matches entirely.
Right.
And he was billed as, like, a horrible wrestler. Whereas Sandow, they have, like, an undefeated streak with them. He's been beaten by now,
He's been beaten plenty of times. He's like a jobber now.
They had a pretty long undefeated streak with him, and it worked well. Where, again, he didn't do very many moves, but the moves he did they fit him really well, and he did them really well, and I love them. Cool finisher, too. Love that finisher. And then they have Dolph Ziggler, who's basically Mr. Perfect. His theme song starts with "I am perfection." His whole thing is that he's really crazy talented.
Yeah.
Oh, they changed it?
Yeah. He's here to show the world now.
Oh, right. I forgot they, like, did their own, like, new version of it.
Well, I believe that the song was made for him in the first place anyways. But I think they're trying to, like, take him away from the perfect thing. But they didn't really, like, go out of their way to make a big difference between him and Mr. Perfect in the first place. It's also funny because he looks almost uncanny to Billy Gunn.
He does, I love Billy Gunn.
So he's like a weird combination of Mr. Ass and Mr. Perfect.
I love Billy Gunn so much.
So you can essentially call him Mr. Perfect Ass.
Yes. And I'm okay with that.
That's just my 2 cents.
I love Billy Gunn. Do you remember Bart Gunn?
No.
Okay, you're not Canadian, so I don't know how well you'll get this reference, but you know Degrassi Junior High back from, like, the 80s? It was shown on...
I believe they made a remake of it.
They did, and it's awful, recently. And I know for sure that airs in, like, all of the states. But the original Degrassi Junior High and then Degrassi High were aired of course across all of Canada, because it was filmed here in, like, I think it was filmed in Toronto. And it was aired some parts of the States, and you can still find it in the States on DVD and stuff. Really cheesy 80s, really awesome though. And he looked like Wheels' biological father, is what I always say that Bart Gunn looks like, in that he's this generic 80s guy with a brown mullet and a mustache. But he's that, but you made him like 6'6" and made of stone. And it's amazing, because every time I watch him, I'm watching his match, and like he's shit, and he's the worst. He's one of the worst guys I've ever seen on the microphone. He is hilariously mild-mannered. Like, I think it was Royal Rumble 1997, where he cut this promo backstage before his tag team match against the Body Donnas, and he was tag team champion with Billy Gunn. Mm-hmm. They were the Smoking Guns cowboy gimmick. And they're getting an interview where they're going to defend their titles in like 2 minutes. So they're about to leave. They interview him. Billy Bart, what do you think the Body Donnas in this match you're about to have? Like, well, this is the worst Sean Mooney impression ever made, but I didn't even attempt for it. Actually, no, I think it wasn't Sean Mooney who interviewed him. It was Michael Hayes when he was like something Hendrix.
Oh.
What do you think of the Body Donnas? And then the camera zooms in on Bart, and I'm like, don't start with him. Oh, well, we're gonna have this match in a little while, and we're gonna be against the Body Donnas, Skip and, Trip, and their manager, Sonny. I'm like, oh my god, he doesn't even know their names. And I feel pretty confident going into this, and, we're gonna win this. And then, like, Billy just, like, shoos the camera over to him and starts cutting, like, an actual decent promo. I was like, no, you can't salvage this. I think your partner's on tranquilizers. What the fuck was that? And then they go out there and have a almost entirely shitty match, because... Do you even remember the Body Donnas?
Not particularly.
It was Chris Candido and some other guy, and their gimmick is that they're twins that are identical, and they look pretty identical, and yeah, that's it. That's the thing. It sucked. They're two blonde guys with singlets who look almost identical. That is the gimmick of the Body Donnas.
There you go.
Yeah, they were good workers.
Yo, Jones, have you been over here?
I have not, but
This looks fucking nice. You gotta come here and check this out.
I will come and check it out too, because I've just been collecting wood and talking about wrestling.
This looks like I
got the chance to breathe.
This looks like the place we were talking about before, where we could hide our own fleet of ships.
Oh
This is like the pathway that leads to it. If you want to like keep a door open,
look at that.
Here. Come here.
Because it's half left, it destroys it automatically. Oh yeah.
Check this out.
Oh my god.
That's pretty.
Oh wow. That's really cool. We need to explore deeper in here.
There's a skeleton.
Nuh-uh. I don't see one.
Oh, there's another one. I just suplexed him.
German suplex.
Sweet chin music. There, that was me calling
That looked like a sword to me.
You know what? I don't need you putting me down.
Last time I checked, I don't remember HBK killing a man with a sword.
You know what? I don't think we watched the same wrestling.
Clearly not, no. Speaking of Royal Rumble, 1997, though. Spoiler alert, guess who won the Royal Rumble that year?
I forgot.
Oh man.
You forget?
I forgot.
You're serious?
Yeah.
There's a reason I said speaking of. It's because Shawn Michaels won.
Oh.
He also won the year prior.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm completely like blanking out right now.
That was when I think that was right when he turned face. And he would like dance his way to the ring, and it was fucking awesome, and the crowd would explode, and everything about it was amazing.
Right.
That was after he had that stupid period where he was with Sherry, and had the horrible version of his theme, and he was getting into the really like egotistical gimmick, and it was starting to get good, but he had no energy, where he would like just mildly walk to the ring and not dance. He'd just like flex once or twice, and then when he wins matches, he'd do the thing where he shoves Sherry down to the ground and poses in front of her, and then she smiles like she liked it.
Right.
Because it's the 90s and wrestling is always a decade behind, so it's the 80s and spousal abuse is now funny.
Right.
But okay.
If you don't mind being totally unprofessional here during this Minecraft Let's Play.
Not a Let's Play. I refuse to Let's Play Minecraft.
We're currently Let's Playing. You can't say otherwise.
But, we are not currently Let's Playing. This is just a video.
It's a video of us
commentating over playing Minecraft.
Read the title. Read the title. I don't see the word "Let's Playing" in there anywhere. So continue with what you're saying, but you're also wrong.
When
I record myself playing a video game and commentating over it, and I write over Batman movie trailer, then it's not a Let's Play.
Yeah.
As I was saying, though, if you don't mind me being totally unprofessional, I'm going to go and grab some dinner.
I hope you enjoy your dinner. I love you.
I don't know how long you guys are going to be around, but it's like, I'm just going to go across the house.
I hope you enjoy your dinner. I love you very much. And if you come back and we're still here, we also still love you.
Yeah. As soon as I leave, you're going to be like, how did that fucker's gone?
No. We're going to talk about how much we love you.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay. Bye.
Well, finally this fucker is off.
Really? Because I love him.
I fucking knew it.
Did you hear that, though? I was still going with my I love you shtick. You were wrong.
I knew it.
And it's not shtick. We love you. I speak on his behalf.
Yeah, do that. No.
Now that he's gone, I'm very attracted to him.
Yeah.
Didn't want to bring out my crush on air.
Oh, yeah.
But it's beyond a crush if I'm already collecting his discarded hair.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't prove otherwise.
This cave.
So, how high up are you going to make it go? Should we, like, place a marker on the outside that you want to reach?
When you go in here, I can show you.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah. So because of this side is so freaking small, I'm just gonna make a stairway up here, and as you can see, you can go up there, and then you come out again.
I like it.
See? Yeah.
So it's gonna come through the rock face here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna...
So that'll be...
Alright, how high was that? It was... there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks. Counting with turns.
That should be a show. It's like Sesame Street, but sucks.
Yeah.
Is Sesame Street still any good? I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it in a long-ass time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I collected a bunch more wood. I already put that in the chest. Do I have any more on me? Yeah, I got a little bit more. I'll put that in the chest too. So tell me everything you know about wrestling.
Not a lot.
We haven't had enough wrestle talk.
You smelled some stone because I have to do some terraforming and too much dirt. It's ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go throw a stack on the oven.
Alright, cool.
It'll be delicious.
It will be fantastic.
Scrumdiddlyumptious. Are there still fireworks going off here? Was there just a holiday and I'm not aware because they don't keep track of like the days of the month anymore? Oh right, was it like Victoria's Day? I think it was just Victoria's Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
Victoria's Day is a Canadian holiday.
I see.
It's probably also English because it's celebrating Queen Victoria.
I see.
Whom is dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. We haven't had Queen Victoria in about 120 years.
I see.
Yeah.
You miss her?
No, I wasn't alive when she was alive, so it's pretty hard to miss her. Although, desserts during her time, very delicious. Bread pudding, love it all the way.
Bread pudding?
Bread pudding. It's a very English... Delicious. It came around in... it came around during the time in English history because a lot of people were very poor. So they made pudding out of bread, and it's actually quite good. Does Austria have a monarchy still?
No, we have democracy.
Okay, because over here in Canada, we have democracy, but we're run by constitutional monarchy. So above our prime minister is still the queen. So we are still a monarchy.
Oh, so Canada has a queen?
Yeah, it's a Queen of England. who is German.
Oh,
by
hey.
the way. Yeah, we're
yeah.
still part of the English Empire. We were granted our independence, of course, but we decided to stay part of the Empire. So we are still an English imperial country. So yeah, we have a queen. Our highest form of government is our queen, and behind that is our own personal prime minister.
I see.
Yeah. So we're still kind of we take care of ourselves, but we still identify ourselves as part of them. And because of our whole pact and everything, if you declare war on any one of the countries within our empire, we all declare war on you. That's about 8 countries.
Oh, damn.
Because if you were to declare war on any one of us, that's declaring war on Canada, England, Wales, Scotland, India, Australia, and I think I'm missing 1 or 2. So,
Okay.
Because, yeah. So if you declare a war on one of us, you're declaring war with, 35 to 40% of, the world's land mass.
Oh, damn.
There's the reason we have the saying, oh god, what was it? What was the saying? The sun never sleeps?
Let out the sun?
It's 3 words.
Is
It's
Sparta?
3 words. The sun never sleeps or something. Because at all times, the sun it's always daytime in at least one English country. And when I say English, I mean currently, with the England. With the England.
With the England, okay.
Currently with the England. No, part of the English Empire. The sun is always shining on a country in the English Empire. Most of that is Canada and Australia.
I see.
Yeah.
So would you say the British Empire is mightier than America?
By far. We also have far more political power because England itself, not even the UK, just England itself has far more better political standing in the United Nations than the United States, because the United States has a horrible and long history of war crimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have... Oh my god. Talking history sometimes on my channel, because I did a Let's Play of Empire Earth 2 that was really eye-opening for me, where I was talking about the Americana bullshit in the game, because it has an American campaign with World War 1 and 2. I was talking about a lot of the bullshit the game had in it, and it was stunning, the ignorance of some of the comments, where I don't even blame the people. It's not like they're willfully ignorant, it's they were straight up taught incorrect things, or just not taught things they really should know in their schools. And it was awful.
Damn.
There were people who were saying that World War 1 and 2 were basically the same because the same people were in charge. No. Not at all, and people seem to fail to recognize that World War II, by all means, was pretty much a religious war, too. Where it was the Catholic world versus us. When I say us, I'm of course talking Canada, we're part of the British Empire. Austria, what was Austria's stance in the war? I'm not even remembering off the top of my head.
We were with the Germans.
Yeah, you were with the Germans.
Austria, at that time there was no Austria.
It was
Austria was
Hungary,
part of Germany. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time you would have been with the Germans. So I want to know what you were taught about World War II, because in Canada, Canadian history class is fantastic because it's very impartial, and we're almost always we're almost never referred to as Canadian in it until the World Wars. It's always English settlers or French settlers. They never try and glorify one. And when they are saying Canadians, when we became Canada and became kind of our own thing, it's almost always talking about the negative things we did and what to never do again, because we're trying to learn from our mistakes, and I like that. And we're never presented as the good guys, because that's the worst thing you can do in history, is have a generation of people who feel like they're the good guys in a war. There's no good and bad guys in a war. The most clear, defined war you can ever think of as there's someone who's in the wrong would probably be World War II with Germany. They're probably the best example of pointing to and say they were in the wrong, but there were atrocities committed on both sides. By far.
That's right, yeah.
There is still no good guy and bad guy as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Russia did awful things because Stalin was in charge, and Jesus Christ, that man.
Oh, yeah.
Over here in Canada, we blew up Chinese people a lot. And it's not because we were at war with the Chinese, it's because we had a lot of Chinese immigrants, and the Royal Canadian Railway, It was paved with the bones of dead Chinese people. We'd pay them like a cent. We're like, you want danger pay? 10 cents. You go into the cave with the nitroglycerin, blow it open. Don't die.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the Americans were bad to Chinese people too, but our danger pay was abysmally low.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. It's because they were cheap workers because they really needed the money, and we were really exploitive at the time.
Yeah.
But right, I'm rambling. What was World War II history like for you?
Phew, we learned a lot about Hitler's life, how he became the dictator, how he became the Führer, the Führer, and yeah. We didn't learn much about like the war, the participants, the fractions,
That's
and
strange.
so on. Yeah.
Now,
We learned Hitler's warpath, where he began, where he, and all that stuff.
Now, I'm curious about I'm curious about how it's portrayed exactly. Like in history classes, it's obviously always best if you don't, make it black and white, good and bad. But over in Austria, that was obviously way more affected. Like they were more involved in that. A lot of the, like, Germany itself and Austria at the time would have been, like, one of the biggest factors in the entire war. They're kind of the main country you think of when you think of that war.
Mm-hmm.
Do they portray Hitler as a bad guy and what was done as a horrible thing?
Hitler is the bad guy. The Americans are the good guys.
When you say Americans, do you mean the United States? Or do you mean just us? Like, the alliance they were fighting?
I don't know if Canada was with them, but
because if you say specifically the United States, that's fucking weird. Because they were latecomers to the war. They only came into the war because they're directly attacked. They test nuked their own. They test nuked their own populated islands into oblivion, killing their own people. And they also nuked Japan twice after they had already resigned.
Well, in Austria, after the World War, we were like poor as heck. We were destroyed and all that, and 4 fractions belates Austria. We were no free country. It's like the northwest was from France, I think. The southeast from Russia.
Okay, so you were split between the winning countries.
Then America. And last country,
I would assume England, because Canada wouldn't have had any stake. Like we would have fought. We fought in the war, of course. In fact, a lot of legendary battles were won by us.
Yes.
But we were not a country yet. We were a settlement. We weren't a country until the 70s.
I see. So, where was I? Yeah, the Russians had the plans to just steal our country. They just wanted to have our country for their own. That's
Stalin for you. He was a real land grabber.
Yes. And France was like half. They didn't quite know. And America was all about saving Austria. So these were the heroes in our history.
Really? Because it's funny because because America was very, very in almost everything post World War II. They were very take as much land as they can, fuck everyone else, and that's why they butted heads with Russia so much.
Yeah, I think if the Americans didn't save us, we were like Russian territory or France territory.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is it's not like they were saving for your behalf or anything. It was they're saving because they're trying to get as much land as they can. And that's why they butted heads with Russia so much. Is Stalin wanted all the land he could possibly claim, and his excuse was, of course, we lost the most, which I would say France lost the most, but Russia lost an insane amount in that war. They both lost insane amounts in that war. There was a lot of loss. Also, the path directly underneath of you, there's a creeper on the stairs.
Oh, damn.
He's walking up the stairs. Be careful.
Oh my god.
There are creepers fucking everywhere, actually.
Oh yeah, here he is. Oh fuck, I'm gonna jump.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow, he's right where you were just standing.
Yes.
Nice.
I have a bow.
Right, what I was saying though.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
why him and Stalin...
Oh, fuck.
that's why, did he jump?
Yes.
That's why
crazy.
Roosevelt and Stalin butted heads so much on that, is they both wanted as much land as they could because, of course, future power of land equals power in the world,
Yes.
of course. So they want as much as they can get, and there was way more argument for Russia getting the land in that they lost more, they need more. The land of Russia is not nearly as it's not as nearly as plentiful in resources as the United States. And also that the United States were barely in the war, and what they did is when they came into the war, almost all they did was commit war crimes, where they were taken to the World Court multiple times over that, where they were literally nuking Japan after Japan had openly resigned. They nuked Japan. Then that's when their leader said, like,
Oh my God.
I will keep fighting until, like, every last person is dead. How could you do this to us? Then they nuked him again, and he's like, no, I had to pull out of the war or else everyone will die. So he pulled out of the war, and a lot of Americans are just taught, he said the threat first, then the nukes happened. No, that's not what happened. He said that in retaliation to the nukes. Because civilian cities, and they said it was the most populated at the time, that's statistically been proven to be a lie. It was the lowest populated cities that had military production coming out of them, which meant huge fucking cities full of innocent people whose lives were completely eradicated, even though they had no stake in the war.
Mm-hmm.
They never chose to be in this war, and they were nuked.
I see.
There's a reason they were taken to the United Nations for the World Court over war crimes. They have been taken to the World Court more times than any country I can think of. We all know the horror stories of Agent Orange. Did you learn that over in Austria?
Oh my God, yes.
So you learned about the Vietnam War?
Yes.
Yeah, Agent Orange. There were thousands of babies that die in stillbirth to this day because of Agent Orange. The birth defects it caused is stuff of nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they dumped it on their own people, too.
Yeah.
They don't care who's on the ground there. They're gonna dump all of the crops, the people, anything. I think I heard Socks come back.
Oh.
Did I?
Well.
Hard-hitting talk about war crimes.
Yeah, we're talking
on
about
Minecraft
history.
LP.
Well, I was talking
Our
history.
favorite topic.
You know what?
My favorite topic.
I think it's time to get shit-faced.
Oh.
Enjoy. We were just talking about mostly World War II. I was asking about what Austrian history class is like for like how it teaches the war and everything. And then I was talking about, like, we all know about the war crimes of the United States. And we were talking a little bit about the Vietnam War and stuff.
That didn't sound like talking about how much you love me.
I was actually talking about him. You'll hear it in the recording. I was talking about that for a while, but then we started talking about history. So, now, you live in the States, don't you? I want to know, what did they teach you about World War II in terms of the United States' actions against Japan? What did they teach you there?
Oh, man.
That we dropped the bomb and that we were kind of huge pieces of shit.
They actually taught you that you were a huge piece of shit, and that because a lot of my American viewers
Literally.
in the South were not taught that.
Essentially, what a lot of what they tried to rationalize it as in the terms of learning about history in school is that if we didn't drop the bomb on them, they would have done much, much worse to us.
Yeah.
And it was a deterrent.
The thing is, though,
which is bullshit, obviously.
It's been proven wrong, though, because the simple fact that anyone can fucking Google and see the dates and see that they resigned before the first nuke. And in fact, what they like to do, I've had some viewers from, like, Texas and stuff actually email me just to say, like, your Let's Play of Empire Earth where you talked about this stuff really opened my eyes. I didn't know that I didn't know until I looked it up that my teachers taught me, like, straight up bullshit. You know what they were taught? They were taught that threat from the Emperor of Japan when he said, like, I'll keep fighting until every last person is dead to get back for what you've done. That was after the first nuke was dropped. That was after he had resigned in the first nuke drop, and he said that. And the second nuke dropped, and he pulled out for the livelihood of his country.
Right.
What he was taught in school is that he said that before the nukes, and they did the nukes because of him saying that. He was also never taught about how they tested the nukes on their own populated islands, that those islands do not exist anymore. They were nuked into oblivion. Did you know that?
I'm aware of that, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few things about history.
Also, these people did not know the World Court exists, let alone that the United States has been taken to it more times than any other country over war crimes. Also, they were not even taught that Canada was in the war. He was not taught that. Yeah. Do you know about the Battle of Vimy Ridge?
You don't understand. Because of us, we won the war.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We came in at the perfect time to save everything.
Now, were you taught about the Battle of Vimy Ridge?
You know what? I don't remember that much.
I'm going to tell you about the Battle of Vimy Ridge. The Battle of Vimy Ridge is one of those... Canadians are not represented very much in a lot of these battles, other than the Royal Canadian Artillery and the Royal Canadian Air Force, where basically they're big things for the English Empire. And of course, we weren't a country yet. We weren't a country until the 70s, and even then, we're still part of the English Empire willingly. So, and we had no stake in it, basically. Anything that we would have earned would have just gone to England, and whatever they wanted to give us, we would get. We still fought valiantly, because this matters. We didn't do it because we're forced into the war because Pearl Harbor. We did it because this is something that we should be doing. And when we did the Battle of Vimy Ridge, when you hear about great Canadian battles, there are a few of them, but they're big fucking deals. Vimy Ridge is the one that we're usually most proud of, where we're in a trench at Vimy Ridge. Germans are coming in fucking hard. Because they have their brigade of panzer tanks. We have almost no tanks there. I don't think we had tanks there. We just had some artillery.
Do you call? Sorry if I'm talking to.
Oh, it's okay.
Do you actually call them panzer tanks?
That is how we've been taught to pronounce it. It's probably wrong.
No, because panzer is tanks in German.
There we go. We call them panzer tanks because we're fucking retarded. Also, in the States, people will say, it's kind of like how over here we make fun of how Americans will call desserts pie a la mode. A la mode means in style. What the fuck is pie in style? That does not mean with ice cream, you assholes. So we always like to make fun of that, but then we say panzer tanks, which is like, it's as redundant as ATM machine. But yeah, we call them panzer tanks. We should probably just call them panzers. Would panzers mean tanks then?
Yeah, Panzer.
Okay.
It's really hard to pronounce, I think, yeah.
See, that's hard for me because I've never been good with pronouncing other languages. I can't even roll R's.
I see.
It might be because of the braces I used to have. I've got a metal bar in the back of my teeth and it gives me less room. That or I just suck at it. But hey, great people don't know how to roll their R's. Vladimir Lenin never knew how to roll his R's, and he was a badass. But anyways, Vimy Ridge. We were in the trench. The Americans were already in the war at this point. We were fighting alongside with mostly American troops. I think we were fighting with some British troops, but we were outnumbered, we were definitely outgunned, and they were using mustard gas. The battlefield was fucking full of mustard gas, and that's why they're driving through with tanks. Because the mustard gas is not going to get in the tanks. We had almost no cover other than our artillery fire. So, while the Americans were fucking fleeing the trench and getting their asses shot because they're fleeing the trench, what Canadian soldiers did was, we took out our handkerchiefs, which come with our standard supplies, we pissed in them.
Of course.
We held them over our mouths because the piss in the handkerchief actually filters the mustard gas, and we charged directly at the tanks, actually pulling open the grates and throwing grenades in.
Wow.
We charged the fucking tanks, and we won the battle. Because troops literally started fleeing when the fucking crazy Canadians and Scotsmen started charging with piss-covered handkerchiefs through mustard gas. They couldn't see us through the mustard gas until we got on the tanks. And once we got on the tanks, what are you gonna do when your fucking turret gun on the top of it with your gas mask when a dude you didn't see coming jumps on it and starts hammering your head in with the heel of his boot? We fucking won that battle by charging through a blinding mist of gas that if it gets in your lungs, eats it alive.
That's pretty terrifying.
See, it's us in the Scottish are fucking terrifying in World War I and II, where when we do something badass, it's fucking badass. That's why we have Remembrance Day.
And here I am thinking that all Canadians are like super polite people.
Oh god, no. Not in
stereotypes.
Ontario. That stereotype is the Maritime provinces, where the Maritime provinces are settled mostly by Irish, Scottish, and different ethnicities of Vikings. So they're all drinking buddies, and they're all happy over there. The crime rate is non-existent. People don't even lock their doors in the Maritime provinces like Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, which, by the way, means New Scotland. Over here in Ontario, though, we're the financial center of Canada. In fact, Toronto, which is 20 minutes drive, is the financial center of Canada. I live in Hamilton, which is the production center. We are generally good people who tend to speak in a never-ending, incredibly thick tone of sarcasm. We are the really asshole, sarcastic Canadians who've still got a sense of humor and don't mean bad, but we sound like fucking dicks to anyone who doesn't get the culture of it and doesn't get that we're not actually trying to be dicks.
You know what? I think I remember a King of the Hill episode like that.
I love King of the Hill, but I've never seen that episode.
It was one where he got Canadian neighbors, and they were just huge assholes to him the whole time. But they were like still trying to be friends, but Hank wasn't having it.
Yeah, that's Ontario. I don't know if you know many people from Ontario. You probably do, because I think the statistic is 75% of Canadians live within a certain radius of the border, like 10 miles of the border, the south border, that is. And of that 75%, 85% of them live in the Golden Horseshoe, which is in Ontario where it dips down to the Great Lakes. I live at the very southern point of that. I live 15 minutes away from Niagara Falls. I live at literally the southern point of Canada.
Daggerfall?
Daggerfall, yes. I live in Daggerfall. It's also colloquially... I'm illiterate. It's also known as Hamilton, which is also known as... it's known as Steeltown, or Hammer City. Hammer City, like Hammer Fall, because, again, steel-producing capital. One of the steel-producing capitals of the world, too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So, you see, it all comes full circle. But right, over here, the majority of Canadians live in the Golden Horseshoe, which is the financial area, which is... I live in the Golden Horseshoe. Mm-hmm. And if you live in the Golden Horseshoe, you're probably like me, where you speak in this horribly thick tone of sarcasm, and you swear like a pirate, but you've got an on-off switch where if you swear like a pirate casually, but if you're in any kind of formal setting where you shouldn't swear, it's zero effort, you just don't swear without thinking about it.
Huh.
So I like the on-off switch. I've never once sworn in front of my mom, because I know she knows I swear, of course. And she's fine with it, just I don't swear in front of her, she doesn't swear in front of me. I never swear at school in front of teachers back when I went to school. I have never sworn at a workplace or anything, and I just need to put no effort into it. It's just kind of a thing that's ingrained in our culture, I guess, is swear like a pirate unless you're in a more formal setting.
I see.
Yes.
I told my mom I was having sex when I had a girlfriend.
And
she was like,
what?
yeah, I know.
See, I like that openness between family. I like that.
Yeah.
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 See, me and my mom, we've always had a great son-mother relationship, because we play video games together.
That's kind of
we like playing Civilization 2 together. We like playing Roller Coaster Tycoon and racing to see who can get their park at the goal fastest, or at least who can not die. And we've always raced games of Egypt, and that game is insanely hard. And we always sit down together with our laptops in the living room, bitching about how we're 1 point below the Kingdom score rating, because the Kingdom score is fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've always played video games together, and we also like talking about comic books together, because she grew up with comic books.
I see.
Yes.
I got into video games thanks to my father, because he bought the PlayStation 1 when it was released.
Yeah.
And he only played like 2 games, which were both racing games, and he had the steering wheel controller, which was really big, and we had to use an own table for that.
Yeah.
And well, he bought some kids game for me, and I played them, and this is how I got into video games. And he now does not play any video games. He just played these 2 games, and yeah.
Yeah, I got into video games at an early age because my mom wanted to teach me how to use a computer at a very early age, so I actually, I knew how to run a DOS command prompt at like 3 or 4. And also, when I was born, she had already bought a Sega... No, Sega Genesis was a little bit after, I think, but she already had an NES, and a lot of games for that, so our NES still works, I still play it sometimes. And also, she's always been a really cool parent, because when I was born, she had a mohawk. And she's got like this big tattoo of like a hand with an eyeball and ink on her across her whole back. She was huge in the punk scene. Because the punk scene's huge in Hamilton here. I've never been into punk music. She thinks I'm lame because I listen to songs her dad listens to. Like, I like Hall & Oates, and she likes like hardcore punk stuff.
Well, I'm listening to Journey because of my father.
Journey is amazing.
I love Journey.
She makes fun of Journey.
Oh my god.
If she can listen to her Sex Pistols and her 50 obscure
Oh, I have seen Sex Pistols live.
Yeah, Sex Pistols are good, but she's got all of her obscure bands that you'd never hear about because she toured with her band and everything, and I'm just gonna get back to listen to my Hall & Oates.
It's weird. There's so few bands that I listen to that I have not seen live. Because
I have only ever seen one band live.
My first concert was at the age of 8, and I went Iron Maiden, so that cool. Should say a lot about me.
My first concert, as a baby, I used to go, my mom used to bring me to a lot of my dad's concerts. He had a punk band called Problem Children that he toured, first punk band to tour in the Maritime Provinces. Ever.
But yeah, I really liked Iron Maiden. This was my favorite band in that time.
They're really good. I don't know if they still do stuff. I don't know about their new stuff, if they do stuff, but a lot of their old stuff I love.
Mm?
Yeah, do you have a favorite song by them?
Probably Flight of Icarus.
My favorite is Ghosts of Navigators.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Not many people I talk to know that song, Ghosts and Navigators. I'm not sure why, because it's a really good one. I know every song of them. Yeah, it's a really good song. I like that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Sucks.
Yeah.
Do you know Flight of Icarus?
Yeah. Do you music, and also do you have music? Parents who support video games?
Do you even have
parents? My mom plays Farmville.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
No, she plays like weird Facebook games that I'll never get. But and she also hates my music. But I listen to a lot of really indie shit. Mm-hmm. I've been really into Joanna Newsom right now. And if you don't know who she is, she's an American harpist. And she
harps are cool.
I can go on about just how good she is, but like I'll fucking show you some of her shit.
Okay.
She's fantastic.
Just link me that after the video. And we're still recording, by the way. This is just this is the ultimate, if you want to sit down and have some background noise where we just bullshit about things. That's why I like recording these. Is because it's fun for that, and I know for a fact I do have a large fan base who like that, so...
Right. Yeah, and at the end of the video, you can just tune in and watch what we have done so far. Yeah.
If you want to know the stuff I like, I'm into Super Chunk, if you've heard of them.
Nope.
At all. They're like a Chapel Hill rock band. And
someone just got arrested.
If you don't know Chapel Hill, it's like...
In Canada?
No, it's in North Carolina, which is in America.
Yes. Very hick.
In case you guys didn't know, but it's like the hipster capital of the South.
Really?
If you're there, North Carolina is like, it's pretty progressive, honestly. Like I was born in Nashville. I live in Connecticut now, so that's
you were born in Nashville.
Not Nashville, Asheville.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm sorry for your loss. Isn't that like the country capital of the world?
Yo, I would like to be from the same place Jeff Jarrett was from.
Jeff Jarrett was always the best when he had his horrible, cheesy, lit-up jacket with the double J's on it, and he had that wrestling attire with the weird striped thing.
Did you Did you by any chance?
Oh man,
see his,
wrestling again.
Yep.
See his short. Did you see his short stint where he had an MMA gimmick?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
That was amazing.
I thought it was legitimately kind of funny. I liked it.
It was hilarious. I loved his vignettes where he just like he showed him training at his dojo and he's just beating up little kids.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was hilarious.
And I liked even his like some of his promo things where he's like, "I'm not gonna wrestle you because your brother is big, and that means that you may one day be taller than me." I literally started laughing out loud at that point because it's like, this is so over the top goofy. I love it.
He gets a lot of shit, but honestly, I like him. I've
always thought he's kind of a good wrestler too. Like a lot of people, like they'll say like he's not that good a wrestler, but he's like okay as a character. I thought he was always kind of a good wrestler. Like he's not spectacular, but I thought he was good.
I'm not a big fan of the stroke because it's kind of a silly finish.
There are people who do the move better. It's hard to find them, though. I think it's a really cool move that almost no one does right. It's like the overdrive for me, where it's a cool move, but no one does it well.
The overdrive's terrible. I don't know how you like it.
Okay, have you ever seen Eli Skipper do it? He's the one guy I've ever seen who made it look like you would verbalize pain when you saw the move. He did it fantastic.
I might have to see it, but it's like
I think I know that move.
For
was
me,
it's
in the WWE games a lot.
Yeah,
but it's like whenever I see it, I'm just like, how is that supposed to hurt?
The overdrive is when they're bent over forwards and they like wrap their leg around the back of their head and grab their wrist, and then they like swing them over like a swinging neck breaker, but they're holding their head with their knee, not their arm.
That looks like it hurts your knee more than anything else.
I always thought it did look like it probably hurt your knee because you're kind of like throwing it into the ground, but it looks like it would crank your neck really bad. But Eli Skipper's is kind of unique where he does it with a lot of velocity, and he kind of pulls his leg way at the end, so it does look like a swinging neck breaker, and it looks like they're actually slamming their neck on the ground like you would see with a neck breaker. It's not just the knee stays there.
Okay.
So he does it better. And if you look at it from a realistic standpoint, the move could easily kill you, because there is an actual, like, I don't remember what martial art it is, but there's a move that move is based on, where instead of, like, spinning them over and slamming them, you just bring your leg down really hard while you bring their arm up, and it just snaps their neck. If you think of it that way, oh my god, it's a brutal move and should not be used in wrestling. However, it's clearly not supposed to be that.
You're probably right, but anytime I've seen any wrestler do it, it's just like...
Well, that's because you've probably seen MVP do it, and MVP looks like an idiot when he does it.
Yo, I legitimately like MVP as a wrestler, though.
Me too.
I also love him as a person.
I don't know him at all as a person.
This is a quick... Well, he used to be like a legitimate gangbanging thug.
Well, I know the story that he was like in jail and stuff, and he like had a religious reform or something in jail, and then when he came out, he wanted to turn his life around. He
turned his life around. This is a quick plug. If you've never listened to The Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana,
I've listened to a little of it and I loved it. So people go listen to it.
Listen to his MVP one.
I will.
It is amazing. It is easily one of my favorites.
Is he just such a genuinely nice guy?
He's a really great guy, but he talks about all of his old, ridiculous, crazy stories from when he was in a gang, and they're insane stories. Yeah,
give me some. I'm curious.
I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. It's like, you know how people would come up with like really ridiculous action hero like shit that could never happen in real life?
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit he did in real life.
Give me some examples. I'm really curious.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is a time where him and his gang like robbed a boat, like a cruise ship.
Oh my god, that's awesome! I need to listen to this. I'm listening to this like right while I'm editing this. I'm listening to it. It's
so good. He also has like legitimately threatened the writers to put him on TV, like threaten their lives.
After he got out of jail.
So good.
This was sometime after he was out of jail.
When he was in developmental.
Wow.
When he was in developmental and he was really fed up. Well, listen to the podcast to find out.
Wow. When did he go? He went to jail before his wrestling career, right?
Yes. He actually learned about wrestling when he was in jail.
Okay, that's weird. Was there like an ex-pro wrestler who was there who like trained him?
Listen to the podcast.
God, you're cock teasing me. I hate you.
It's a really good podcast. I agree.
I'm definitely going to listen to it.
Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you should listen to it.
Colt Cabana is also a lovable guy. It is impossible to dislike Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana's great. I love Colt.
But as a wrestler, though, because I don't know anything about him as a person, really, other than apparently he really pissed off the WWE that one time when he had that crazy long losing streak, because apparently he really mouthed off to some drug tester, and they really cracked the whip hard on him, and that's why he had the massive losing streak gimmick.
I'll believe that.
So I don't know how true that is, but, you know, it seems like something the WWE would do. But anyways, as a wrestler, I've always thought he was really good. I thought that his promos were good. I thought he actually had kind of a good look to him. Like, I know he never had... Yeah. He was never like... He was never Chris Masters, a man who I'm convinced his career was single-handedly killed by the wellness policy.
Which, by the way, you should also listen to Chris Masters, because that's a really good
I've heard his was good. I've heard a clip of it that was really funny. I need to get around to listen to the whole thing.
There's a part where he talks about the Ultimate Warrior's return, and that's
the clip I heard where he was talking about how like he was really excited to wrestle him, and then his childhood was ruined when he gassed out like 3 minutes into the match.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Orlando Jordan who wrestled him.
Oh, okay, that was it. I've heard Orlando Jordan is a really creepy fucking guy to work with.
I'll believe it.
Because it's not that he's bisexual, although I'm sure there are a lot of wrestlers who are really...
He's legitimately,
I'm sure there are a lot of wrestlers who... I'm sure there are a lot of wrestlers who... Just him being bisexual would make them uncomfortable, because you know how macho wrestlers can be sometimes, but...
That's kind of bad.
But then there's the problem of no, Orlando Jordan's is legitimately a really creepy dude. It doesn't have to do with the bisexuality, it's that he's a creepy dude. Have you heard Paul London talk about him? I
haven't, but one thing that really skeezes me out about Orlando Jordan is that he claimed that he wanted to do his... I thought his gimmick on TNA actually wasn't that bad. I kind of enjoyed it just because of how over the top it was.
I like that it was over the top. It got creepy, though.
Yeah, it's really creepy, and that's the point. Like, the shit where he just, like, poured a gallon of milk all over himself. I was all over that. Just because of how over the top it was.
I liked it in that fashion, yes. I think it could have been done better. But continue with what you were saying, though.
But, he did an interview where he talked about how he wanted his gimmick to, like... And I think this is total bullshit. He wanted his gimmick as a way for younger people who aren't really comfortable with their sexuality or don't understand it to like be able to be comfortable with it. And I'm like, come the fuck on. You're trying to use that as a way to get people to boo you.
I was about to say, correct me if I'm wrong, his gimmick is that he sexually assaults men and women. Isn't that his gimmick?
Yeah, that's the last way you want to, like, try to get people to be...
Yeah, he must have just been saying that to try and appeal to the writers. Like, there's no way he bought that. It wasn't, like, a writer's thing. It was, like, an actual, out of a, like, off-show interview with him. Oh my god, that's fucking... There's no way he bought that. There's no way he honestly thought that was a good idea. As a way, like, as a gimmick form, maybe, but there's no way he thought that would actually make people more comfortable with their sexuality. That the bisexual guy, the only openly bisexual guy in the promotion, is doing, like, sexually assaulting people. Is sexually assaulting people and villainized.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Do we have Cleanstone?
Oh, right. I forgot to put stuff in the oven. I'll go do that right now.
I'll take it.
Sorry, that's my bad. His gimmick is that he sexually assaults men and women. He is the equal opportunity rapist, as I hear people call him. He is not the good guy.
No.
Not at all. And see, the hard thing about it is, how do you portray a bisexual person as a good guy? Well, because since when is your sexuality supposed to make you good or bad?
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's like, if someone is gay, then they should just be treated as a person, not as a gay person.
I agree,
So
but
like,
how do you translate that to a wrestling gimmick? Like,
you don't have to. You don't even have to, like, if you want to use it as a gimmick, then that's kind of putting down homosexuality in the first place.
I agree, because it's acting like this person, their unique thing is that they're gay. No, that should be completely normal, whether you're gay or not gay or whatever your sexuality is. The thing is, though, if you wanna do your thing where you're making people more comfortable with their own sexuality because they look up to you, you can't be a bad guy.
Tiny aside here, I don't think there are a lot of people who genuinely look up to Orlando Jordan as a role model.
I hope not.
Just in general.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous because, like, okay, you've got to be the good guy then, but how do you can't have your gimmick just be you're gay, because that's not helping anything. So your gimmicks...
I liked that it was totally over the top. I
do like that. Don't get me wrong.
Necessarily like the shit where he was like
grinding his ass in Samoa Joe's crotch in the corner.
I didn't mind it that much when he, like, you know, like some of the weird sexual shit he did in the ring.
You know what? As long as it's okay with the other wresler.
Of course.
Of course.
Which like, actually translates to another topic I'd like to get into fairly soon. But I didn't. It wasn't necessarily that I liked it for. It was the shit he came up with when he was like entering the ring. Like he had that crazy like interview stage where it had the male female symbols.
Yeah.
And he had like a half naked man and a half naked woman just like hanging around on stage.
They did nothing.
Like, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Was it his debut where he was covered in like caution tape? And that was all he was wearing?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fucking creepy and amazing.
I know. It's shit like that I like.
Was he a good wrestler at all? I never really watched his matches, just his promos and stuff.
No, not especially.
What was his finisher even? Double knee backbreaker?
No, that was D'Angelo Gennaro.
Oh.
He didn't like I don't know if he's like had a defined finisher, but a lot of people like go through stages where they don't necessarily know what they're using, or they use whatever people tell them to use.
Yeah, it's funny. I have always liked Elijah Burke as a wrestler, but I've heard he's a real hard guy to work with.
Is he?
CM Punk blasted the dude, saying he's the biggest prima donna he's ever wrestled.
Oh.
Where apparently he's like, he really doesn't like it when people are stiff with him, and if you're at all stiff with him, he stiffs the fuck out of you back, and he can punch like a motherfucker.
I'll believe it.
And CM Punk I'm mixing up his names now. CM Punk and Elijah Burke had that big feud in WWE and ECW for a long time, so they had a lot of matches together. And apparently CM Punk said, like, he would stiff him all the time where he sometimes does a thing where he runs, the guy's sitting down, like he's sitting up. And De Niro will run behind him and do like a flying forearm into his back. Apparently he just stiffs the dog fuck out of people with that. Ooh. And it hurts so badly. He says like he'll basically just put all of his body weight and just slam you in the kidney.
That's bad.
Yeah, and he said like WWE really got in his ass for that because
I'll believe it.
He was on the border of injuring people.
I never knew, especially why like people didn't like him too much, or why he never got too far. Because he's a great wrestler.
I think he's a really good wrestler. I think he's got a great personality. He's great on the microphone. I think he's a great like in ring. He can work a match really well, and he's one of the few wrestlers who made the stroke look good. Although his other finisher's better.
I loved his TNA gimmick of like the Pope D'Angelo De Niro.
I like it.
Where he was just like a black street preacher.
Yeah,
that was so good.
And he makes like the fake dollar bills rain down, and he's going to the strip clubs, and oh my god, he was great.
The character itself is great. The stuff he did, like the stuff they like told him to do as a gimmick, not so much. That was pretty bad, actually.
I hope he's better as a person now, though. Like, I hope he's less of an asshole to work with now. There are a lot of people like that who apparently used to be really bad, but are fine now. Like, a lot of people will say that Randy Orton used to be a really, like, annoying, petulant shit. CM Punk will say that, even. CM Punk in an interview once said that like Randy Orton used to be like one of the most annoying people backstage, but he's pretty chilled out now. But I've even heard a lot of people nowadays say like Randy Orton really tries to keep you down. But I don't know if that's just people being bitter or not. Like I don't really know anything about Randy Orton, other than going AWOL and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a big Orton fan, so
I think he's one of the boringest men alive. Except back in like 2002 and 2003, when he would work his fucking ass off just to be in the ring every night, and he was amazing back then. You ever seen Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton from like 2003?
I don't remember it now.
I'm going to link you that later because it is one of the stiffest and most amazingly paced matches I've ever seen. That's just like a free TV one, I think. And he was like super jobber. That was back when he had his jobber entrance of like his theme was like and his Titantron was just the words Randy Orton flashing in Technicolor, and he had bangs.
I remember that one fight when Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair fought against Chris Michaels. No, what is he called? Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit.
I do remember that was back when they had Evolution. Oh my god! Speaking of Evolution, one of my favorite feuds of all time. When Triple H wouldn't let Booker T in Evolution because he's black.
What?
And Triple H won the title in that feud. Racism won.
There is actually some clean stone over here.
Oh yeah, I put some in the furnaces, by the way, in the mine.
Yeah, they. I'll put some more in.
I love that when racism won. This happened quite a few times. That's happened quite a few times now, where the WWE has had a gimmick where one guy was racist, and he always wins the feud. The racist guy almost always wins.
Oh, Jack Swagger didn't win.
You're right. Well, I like Jack Swagger's new thing he's doing. I think his look is way better now, too.
I liked it for a week, but now he's just as boring, honestly.
I love that one guy. What was he called? The guy in the flannel hem? In the
Mick Foley?
Mick Foley?
Mick Foley, right?
Mick Foley's great.
Yeah.
Really pleasant guy too.
Yeah. I like that he's always selling a book, but
I like that he's always reading to children.
Oh man.
I just think it's funny. I was like, anytime he's just like coming on TV, he's just doing it to sell a book. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know what? He deserves it. He doesn't need to do anything.
Now, I'm sure you've seen the picture. 4 out of 10, Bret Hart.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear Bret Hart's interview about that?
Yes, I did.
I love his interview about that. He's like, I was probably thinking. He's like, have you seen this picture about it says you're looking at the rock bottom that Rock did to Cena, and you were thinking, 4 out of 10. He's like, I don't really remember that either. And yeah, they kind of botched it. I don't know who messed up there, but it looks like they kind of tripped over each other. Yeah, I'd actually kind of rate that a 4 out of 10. It's become kind of a thing now. I love that.
Well,
I love Bret Hart.
We have a skinny guy in our house.
Huh?
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh, do we have the Enderman
Look
in
inside.
our house?
Yes.
Oh. Is he in my room?
Right.
Yeah,
he's right in front of the chests.
Oh.
You want to kill him?
I don't want to look at him. Yeah, let's do. Oh, he's angry. He's angry. But at who?
Probably you, because you're the only one in there.
No, he's not attacking me. Oh yeah, now he's normal again. Weird.
Is he mad at me? I wasn't looking at him.
Ah, he's normal again. He's just having a seat at our table.
Why are the Endermen so happy to come to our house? Like, they fucking love it, like, in our village.
They love us.
And I hate it. Because I hate Endermen.
I get so many of them now.
I don't want them. They're horrifying. They were a bad idea.
Alright, we've been going for almost 3 hours, I think. So
oh, man.
I'm thinking of ending this soon, and then I'll just take some screenshots of whenever we finish and show the ending results, because I think we've been going for crazy long for this week. We can still keep building and stuff if we want to. I'm just going to show the results at the end.
yeah, we have just built this pathway this episode.
Oh wow, that looks cool.
It looks really cool. I like it.
Yeah, thanks. And I think next up we will build the farm right, the barn right above our house, like here, if you see me. And the rest of the path we can make like villager huts for overpopulated village.
I like it.
Yeah,
also, Socks, you said before that you had another topic.
Oh,
Something about gay people, I think.
not about gay people, about sexual harassment.
Ah.
I don't know if you heard, but Austin Aries did something really, really bad.
I think I saw that. Is it the thing where Christy Hemme called out the wrong people?
Yeah.
So when he did the thing where he stands on the turnbuckle and like taunts to the crowd, he did it like with his crotch right in her face?
Yeah, like he like shoved her face like right in Newsday.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and assume that was not at all consensual because there's no way they could have planned that before.
They could have planned that.
Well, yeah, they could have planned it.
If they did plan it,
If they did plan it,
that would have been fine. That would have been totally fine. But apparently he just up and did it.
Okay, so Christy Hemme had no idea that was going to happen.
Christy Hemme had no idea. She was fucking livid.
Okay, because I was going to say, if they were maybe even just friends and he knew something like that would be fine with her, I would be fine with it. I'd say, like, he's staying in character and, like, it was kind of funny. If she's actually mad and that was actual, like, sexual harassment there, no, that's not cool.
And the shitty thing about it is, I love Austin Aries.
Me too.
I think he's easily like one of the most talented wrestlers in the world. And
me too.
And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart not only that he did that, but also that he's like totally unapologetic about it, and he's a total dick.
I didn't know he was a dick. Have you ever seen the brainbuster he did to Joey Ryan? Best one I've ever seen in my entire life. Such a talented
I don't remember
wrestler.
that one in particular, but it's like when people like went on Twitter and said like, "Yo, that wasn't cool. You shouldn't have done that." He just like every single time he replied to them with a joke about balls. That's like, come on, man.
You know, the balls jokes would have been funny out of context, maybe, but that wasn't cool.
No, that's not cool at all. It's a shit thing to do.
He should really make a... You know what, if Christy Hemme were to tell him, I'm not cool with what you did, he should apologize to her and he should make a public apology.
It's true, and he didn't.
Is TNA gonna... Do you know if TNA's doing anything about this?
Dixie didn't do shit. The people who actually like went out of their way to reprimand them, of all people, was Spike TV.
Really? I'm sorry, since when does Spike TV care at all about anything like sexual?
Exactly.
It is
like we're gonna
Broman TV.
We're gonna reprimand Austin Aries right after this marathon of Mansers.
Okay, Spike TV is like the most like appealing to dumb jock TV station ever.
It's like the most misogynistic shit, honestly.
Have you ever seen fucking what's it called? Have you ever seen Deadliest Warrior?
I haven't.
It is the dumbest, like, pseudoscience bullshit show ever, but the ending is hilarious to every episode because they have war reenactor dudes dress up as these people and fight each other in a fake computer program, and it's hilarious. But the rest of the show is just like people who have no idea what they're talking about, pretending like they know what they're talking about, and it's awful. Like, they start doing the scientific method where they do things like, you know, we're gonna test this gun against this gun. Half the time they're testing the operator, not the weapon, where they have like, we're gonna have these two experts with these weapons drive by and see if they can shoot targets. Well, that's not testing the accuracy of the weapon, that's testing how good the guy shooting it is. And then they'll do things like, we're gonna take these two grenades, we'll throw one in a room and see how much damage it does, and the other one we'll put in a washing machine. I'm not fucking joking, by the way. They were comparing, I think it was like German Special Police Force to the Irish, I'm blanking on their names. You know, the Irish, IRS, is it? IRA, the Irish Republican
the IRA,
Army.
yeah.
They're comparing the different kinds of bombs they use, and they're like, Irish nail bomb. They throw it in a room, it blows up, and they're like, wow, that killed all the dummies. Then they compare it to, like, I think it was either that one or they compared someone else's, like, damaging grenade to the GSG-9, the German Special Unit, to their rubber ball grenade, like their stinger grenade, which is meant to cause no lasting harm. They throw it in the room, it blows up, and they're like, none of these dummies are dead! 0 points! And I'm like, it did what it was intended. Neutralize the targets. You get in that fucking room and take the grenade. The fuck?
Do we have stone?
Yeah, I put,
yes.
Go in the mine. All the furnaces have stone in them.
Also,
nice.
I have some on me. I put more in there. Where are you?
Cool.
Jones, I'm gonna jump down and... I'm gonna jump down to you.
Ray, is that all you had to say about the Austin Aries thing?
It fucking breaks my heart, and I want him...
Me too.
I want him to apologize. I want him to, like, if he can at least understand what he did wrong, then perfect. Perfect. You shouldn't do this kind of shit ever.
You know, if he's not gonna apologize because, like, he wants to stay in character...
Oh, man.
I can see that, but if he's... Sorry, what?
You got my stone.
Oh, yeah, I'm fucking stupid. I forgot I even picked it up. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's not apologizing because he's staying in character, and I highly doubt that's it, then I can see that. But if he's not apologizing because he doesn't think it's wrong or he doesn't get it, then that breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's like that. I don't even think
seems like such a cool guy too.
Is a good justification for it.
I think that rarely is a good justification.
It's not even good. It's like if you're staying in character and you don't even like realize that if you're staying in character and you're trying to like give off that you don't even realize that this is a bad thing, that's just like you're making your character look like an idiot instead of just like trying to look bad.
Yeah. That's why I always say one of my favorite heels of all time is Arn Anderson. I don't know how much Arn Anderson you've seen, but he is the most real wrestler I've ever seen in my life. When you see him, and you see interviews with him and everything, he seems like he was just a real guy in a real sport, doing what he does professionally. He takes it very seriously, and he's a heel because he fights in kind of a dirty way. And you watch him, and that was back in the 80s when, you know, a lot more people thought wrestling was real. When you watch someone like Arn Anderson, you can see why. He seemed like a real man, and holy shit, he was an insanely talented wrestler. It sucks that he's retired due to injuries, but if you haven't seen much Arn Anderson, go watch some Arn Anderson. He's the master. But Austin Aries not apologizing for this, like, his Twitter's not even always in character, and you don't need to make your character not apologize for that. You could even just have your character say, like, I've been informed by TNA management that I have to apologize, so this is my official apology. Make it seem like he's an asshole, he doesn't really want to apologize, but he's got to because this is a real sport. Do that if you're going to stay in character. But, for the love of God, apologize in some way. At least acknowledge that it was not what he should have done.
I'm sure, like, at this point, they've done something, but it's like...
There's probably some kind of punishment. Maybe a fine?
I haven't been following it too heavily.
Me
because,
neither.
You know, it's Austin Aries,
I didn't even know something happened. I just assumed that they were friends and she was cool with it. I had no idea that was some big thing.
No.
I assumed it was a botch, that she did the wrong name, because I couldn't think of an in-storyline reason why they would do that.
I thought when I saw it that it was just like, you know, a silly thing they wanted to do.
And she didn't seem angry at the time.
I don't know, when you saw her face after it happened, she looked disgusted.
Oh, I didn't see her face after. She looked like she was kind of laughing off at the time, and I thought that was probably her finding it genuinely kind of funny that he did that, not that, like, I'm laughing this off so that, like, I don't look fucking, like, irate in front of the camera. I guess she probably took that as professionally as she could have.
I swear to God, I saw her, like, you know, look mad.
Yeah, I believe you.
But it's like,
yeah,
it's fucked up.
She was really professional about it. She didn't walk out and she didn't just, like, immediately, like, tell him to fuck off or something. I think I just heard her say, like, I think she said, like, okay, and, like, backed up. I don't think she ever, like, said, like, get the fuck off me or something that would, like, be really awkward in front of TV. So she took it professionally, but holy shit, that shouldn't have happened if she never said that was okay. That should not happen.
Is the Enderman gone?
I think so. We had an Enderman in the house, and one was on the pathway. This is like Ender City.
Yeah, we get
I don't
so
know
many.
why.
We get like 3 an episode. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man.
Is anyone else disconnected?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to end the recording here then. because I'm afraid if I go back into it, it'll crash and everything will be corrupted, because I'm afraid
I
of
see.
Java today. So,
Okay.
guys at home, I hope you guys enjoyed. The description, of course, has links to the stuff of Jones and Socks. I have shortened your names to Jones and Socks.
You can also link my Ultimate Markout Twitter if you'd like.
I would like to, actually. I want to link as many things as you guys want to plug, so don't feel like there's any limit.
I don't normally plug it, and I don't really normally plug my own Twitter.
I have a lot of wrestling fans, so
unless I'm really joking about it. But yeah, if you have fans who are totally into wrestling,
I think they would love it.
Follow Ultimate Markout. I live tweet, got my own style.
Well,
I'm in a feud with Brad Ward FGN.
Motherfucker.
You actually shouldn't follow me on Twitter because I'm almost never posting anything.
Douche. That's why you don't follow him.
Just YouTube, you know.
Yeah, go subscribe to him on YouTube because he's gonna be doing that thing for that game.
Oh yeah,
the one with
Tamba.
the one with the man who does the thing and the things too.
With
way.
Yeah, with the hair, right?
He's got the hair. Yeah,
and
that sounds
two
exciting.
eyes. 2 eyes, not one.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
That narrows it down. I
heard rumors. Yeah. I heard rumors that the next game coming out, he's gonna be a Triclops. Yeah, it's an interesting change in his character. Interesting character design change.
If you have watched the previous episode, you would know which game I will let's play. But I will let's play the first game before the second one.
Yeah. So the second episode hasn't even been uploaded yet because of the special I did.
I know. Yeah. If you have luck, my first part will be up when this episode is up.
Oh, definitely, yes. Well, the first part's up, the second part isn't. The second part's one we talked about. But anyways, do we have any closing things to say?
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And I am...
Tell you.
On this beer that I'm currently on, I am approaching the swill.
I love you, Socks Mahoney.
He's a
I'm going to assume that he's got a mouthful of beer, and thus he didn't say I love you too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason.
That was 100% true.
There you go. I love you, Socks Mahoney.
Thank you. I guess.
Wow, that felt rejecting. Thanks.
You're pretty good.
Well, now I've just got to go back to my fiance.
Happy Mother's Day.
I think it's Victoria's Day either today or yesterday. It's a Canadian holiday, and I don't even remember if it's then. I heard fireworks.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Just happy holidays, guys.
It's celebrating a queen we had 120 years ago.
Who cares?
We have queens here in Canada. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Until next time, have a nice day.
Goodbye.